David, Snaffles, one of your runners on Sunday. Now, this horse has taken a little bit of time to sort of work into top gear, but this season he's showing some more positive signs.
Yeah, he when he arrived from Ireland, he threw a splint, so they always take a bit of time. But he's racing this season in good, consistent form. Bit luckless both times. He's had excuses and not beaten far. So, should get a good run, 1800 he'll like. And he's in form, so should run well.
I did notice, actually, just from my very untrained eye, watching the replay last time, the winner sort of caught him a bit unaware. Would that be fair? I mean, he sort of came a bit wide of him and sort of snuck up on your horse, if anything.
That's exactly what the jockey said, Karras. He said if he came to him, he would have lifted. He got to the front and was stargazing. But if we were getting out of trouble while he got momentum up. So hopefully we won't be in trouble this time.
You talk of the trip. Now, going back through his form, he has run really well over 18, so I guess there was never a sort of a doubt in your mind that this was perhaps the logical way to go?
Yeah, I'd say it might even be better at 2,000, so I think 18 might be his pet distance.
He's very versatile. No, he hasn't won one just yet, but he has performed on all sorts of going, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's won on the dirt overseas in a listed level, and he won on firm ground, and here he's handled the ground no problem, which is nice.
Nice gate as well to work from. Karras can save plenty of ground from too.
Yeah, he can ride a nice patient race, won't have to be too far back. The conditions before they called the race meeting off last week were perfect, but he did draw a bit wide, so we got probably less favourable ground, but a much better barrier.
Mark, let's chat about your runner in the group race. First group race runner for you here in Hong Kong, Tourbillon Diamond. How have you found the horse since you've inherited him?
Yeah, look, he arrived in really good condition. I was pleasantly surprised, how sound and well he was. So, look, I think with him it's just really about a change of environment and hopefully just changing his mindset. He started last season in really good form, but that tapered off in his last half a dozen runs. So we just need to try and get him back to his previous form and he'll be competitive.
Yeah, 12 months ago, he was running off a 17-pound higher mark in this race and running well. He's actually got previous with the race, even that he's placed a couple of times in it. So he certainly knows the race well.
Yeah, I think he's got about an 18-pound swing in the weights there on California Spangle. But look, on his last few runs, he'll need every bit of that. But look, I can't fault him since he's joined me. I've ridden him quite a bit of work, and he feels well, and he feels as if his head's still in the game. I was happy with his last trial. Naturally, he'll improve into his second run, but still we need to see a forward showing from him.
You've tweaked the headgear with him, and he has performed well enough in a trial recently. Just talk me through that decision with him. Yeah,
look, he's a horse that he plays with his tongue constantly, and he always had his mouth open and just seemed to be, it would just be more of a nervous habit with him. So I went to a crossover noseband with him, and it just seems to have helped eliminate that. So he's not using as much nervous energy, I found now. So if it makes a small amount of difference, well, it could be could be telling.
Let's chat about the recent success. Obviously, you didn't necessarily look a relieved man, but you looked a very pleased man on Wednesday night. Happy Hero was your first winner in Hong Kong. Many congratulations there, and I guess like anything, Mark, great to get that first one.
Yeah, absolutely, and look, I think for me, I was really excited. It wasn't any great relief. It was going to come sooner or later, but it was nice to get a horse that was previous form hadn't suggested that there was much in the tank, but look, he, for whatever reason, he's clicked down at our stable, and but I was really pleased for my staff. They've all been working really hard and anxious to get that first win on the board, and you could see the vibe in the stable even the next morning. Everyone was up and about, and it meant a lot to them, and it meant a lot to me. I mean, I've wanted to come to Hong Kong to train for quite a long time, and I find Happy Valley, it's an exciting venue, and it certainly was every bit of that on Wednesday night.
Looking ahead, what are we hoping for now? I had a look through your stable, your list of horses in the stable. There are any number, Mark, of horses that we haven't seen just yet, and probably unlikely to see for a little while. Some exciting youngsters in the stable?
Yeah, look. When you go through and analyse what we've got, I'd say by the end of November we're going to have 30 horses that have never raced in Hong Kong, and some of those have never raced ever. So we'll have a really good mix of new horses, but that'll probably mean that it'll be a little bit of a slow burn up until Christmas time, and then I'm expecting a really good second half of the season, and then a really good build into next season. New horses obviously take a little bit of time to acclimatise, some quicker than others, but it's nice to have a good group of horses coming through.
Without giving the game away, is there one that you might be looking forward to, or you're not at liberty to tell us just yet?
Oh no! Look, I've got a horse there that I targeted called Burling. He hasn't been renamed here yet. He's only won 2 country races in New South Wales from his 2 starts, but he's a big raw horse and looked to be a lot of upside with him. He won as a 2-year-old, and then he beat older horses at his next start at probably 2 unsuitable distances. So I think he's a horse that's going to have a lot of upside, just turned 3. If we can get a win or 2 with him towards the end of this season, I think it'll hold him in good stead for next year.
Vincent, nice book of rides for you this Sunday. Always a pleasure, I'm sure, for a jockey to go to the races with some nice rides. Joyful Hunter is one of them. Now, he was unbeaten at the Valley last season, a couple, but his reappearance this season, obviously he was beaten, granted, but there were plenty of positives to come out of that.
Yeah, for sure. The other run got held up a bit. If I get a clear run, probably, very close, could be close to the win, I would say, or even could be winning. But, it's a lovely big boy. Would think he has the potential to go forward, improve even more. So looking forward to ride him for sure. Yeah.
I imagine you and Francis Lloyd would have got together, obviously, post-race and discussed the matter. Francis has wasted no time in getting him up in trip. But was that certainly your thinking as well going forward?
Yeah, it could, because he settled well now in the race, and would think he's not a 6 furlong horse, so it's no problem to step him up. We're pretty sure he can handle it through the previous how he pulled up in the races and the gallops and all that. He shows he is quite keen. Even after the post, I usually only be stopping it probably halfway back the straight. That's the earliest that I can stop him, and we also felt like he's way longer distance horse.
Regardless of finishing position, were you happy with the way he handled the bigger track, given we'd seen him quite impressive around the Valley?
Yeah, I think it's even better because we got a longer straight to pick him up. In Happy Valley shows, I had to dig him halfway through the corner and to get him get his momentum going. But in Shartin, a longer straight feels easier. Yeah.
He's had a recent trial as well. He looked to go okay in that, so all ready to go.
Yeah, I think so. The trial is just to let him stretch his legs a bit. Not just to keep his form up there. Is fit. So yeah.
Frankie, Dream Winner is lining up for you in your stable in the last race on Sunday. A fascinating runner. Let's go back to his seasonal reappearance. Now, he was very well fancied. He was last of 5, but the run perhaps not as bad as it might look on paper.
Yes, last start he still not one bad, just beat by 1.5 length. But as I say, last season he lead a bit further. So maybe the first start 1,000. A little bit short maybe start because it's a big horse, big stripe. This time I just put him 1,200 now.
What was Vincent Ho's take on the performance, Frankie? Obviously he knows the horse very well. What was his sort of fallout from that performance?
After last start, we need to do the barrier trial for him. We trial him on dirt. He jumped fast and he lead by himself all the way. He happy with the horse, and then this morning I just put him on gallop he also said the horse is good for now. Yeah.
With that trial, it was quite noticeable. Obviously, it was a handy enough trial. Actually, he obviously beat some smart ones, and they were nicely clear of the third. Was it the intention to sort of go out into that trial and really give him a good hit out and make him work a little bit?
Yes, you can see he a big horse, big stripe. He can. I think later on he can go a little bit further. But anyway, we start 1200 first, and unfortunately this time he got a draw 12. But anyway, maybe it's good for him because big stripe. He can just go a bit smooth, so I hope he can run a good race. Yeah.
All what he was doing last season, was that perhaps just a little bit of a bonus, given that you believe that he is a horse that would get over a bit more ground?
Yes. Last season he's still baby. As I say, he in the morning he's just looking around, and you see after winning the race he come back, he just stand there. So I think he still can improve. Yeah.
Are his days at racing over 1,000 metres numbered? Be no real interest to go back to 1,000 at this stage with him?
I don't think so now. I think maybe we need to later on maybe 1,200 and then maybe later on 14. Yeah.
You'd be quietly confident then he would get a bit further. I mean, the draw this weekend, Frankie, obviously not ideal. He's out wide, but is he the type of horse that's got that sort of natural speed that's going to get him to a good spot early, do you think? I
think so. You can see he trial jump fast, and usually in the race maybe they all go fast. But anyway, we draw 12. I think we need to use him a little bit in the early. Yeah.